Heads up, this is a creative piece written in the style of a dramatic fan article, based on the event you described. We're right there with you, feeling all the emotions for our favorite lieutenant. Heartbreak in Chicago. Firehouse 51 faces its darkest hour as Kelly Severide fights for his life. It's the news that no Chicago fire fan ever wanted to read. The words themselves feel wrong, heavy and cold, like a nightmare we can't wake up from. But the devastating reports are true. Lieutenant Kelly Severide, the unshakable core of Squad 3, has been critically injured in the line of duty and is now in the ICU at Gaffney Chicago Medical Center. To say Firehouse 51 is reeling is an understatement. To say we are reeling is putting it mildly. The entire city, the entire One Chicago family, is holding its breath. The call came in as a 4-alarm blaze at an industrial warehouse, a monster of a fire, the kind that eats buildings whole and spits out smoke thick enough to blot out the sun. It was an all-hands situation, and 51 was the first on the scene. From the moment Truck 81 and Squad 3 rolled up, the air was thick with a sense of dread. The building was old, unstable, and reports from frantic workers indicated multiple people were still trapped in the basement levels. For Kelly Severide, trapped isn't a warning. It's a call to action. It's who he is. We all watched through the lens of body cams and frantic cutaways as Severide, ever the fearless leader, prepped his team for a high-risk subterranean rescue. The plan was dangerous, relying on aging schematics and a rapidly collapsing structure. The last clear image we have of him, he was giving that quick, confident nod to his wife, Stella Kidd, a silent promise of "I'll be right back" that they have exchanged 1,000 times. But this time was different. According to preliminary reports, Severide and his team successfully located the trapped civilians, but the building's integrity failed. A secondary explosion, believed to be caused by ruptured chemical barrels, tore through the lower levels, cutting off the exit. What followed was a blur of radio silence, static, and the gut-wrenching, desperate calls from Stella over the comms, her voice cracking as she pleaded for her husband to respond. It was a rescue mission to save the rescuers. When they finally breached the debris, they found him. Severide, having shielded 2 of the civilians with his own body, was found unconscious, having borne the brunt of a collapsing support beam. The scene outside Gaffney Med was a blur of heartbreaking, familiar images. We saw the crew of 51, our family, huddled on the pavement, their faces streaked with soot and tears. We saw Herman, his hands clenched, pacing back and forth, unable to stand still. We saw Cruz, who looks to Severide as a brother, staring blankly at the ambulance doors, and Mouch, the house's heart, openly weeping. And then we saw Stella. She arrived with him in the ambulance, reportedly never letting go of his hand, and when they wheeled his gurney into the trauma bay, she looked utterly broken. This is the woman who has fought tooth and nail to be by his side, who has become a leader in her own right, now forced into the one role no one is ever prepared for, the terrified spouse in the waiting room. The bond between Severide isn't just a TV romance. It's the anchor of the whole show. Seeing that anchor threatened feels personal. The early reports from the hospital are grim. Dr. Will Halstead and the med team are working around the clock. The injuries are extensive: severe smoke inhalation, multiple fractures, and most terrifyingly, internal injuries that required immediate, high-risk surgery. He survived the surgery, but he's not out of the woods. He's in a medically induced coma in the intensive care unit, hooked up to a ventilator that is breathing for him. Our hero, the man who has walked through fire more times than we can count, is now in the fight of his life. It's hard to even imagine Firehouse 51 without Kelly Severide. He's more than just a lieutenant. He's the soul of the house, the brooding, intense, and deeply loyal big brother to everyone who wears the CFD insignia on their shoulder. He's the one who runs toward the explosion. He's the one who never, ever gives up on a victim. We've seen him hurt before. We've seen him grapple with the loss of his best friend, Shay. We've seen him battle his own demons, his father's legacy, and his fear of settling down. A fear that vanished the moment he truly let Stella in. He has evolved from the lone wolf of Squad 3 to a dedicated husband and a true leader, a man who found his family not in blood, but in the brick and mortar of 51. He and Stella just weathered one of the most painful personal heartbreaks a couple can endure. They were just starting to find their footing again, to look toward the future. This is a level of cruelty that feels unbearable.